What's going on YouTube? Reach for the Stars here, aka RTK the Kid, and today I have a hardcore domination gameplay for you guys with a commentary. And real quick guys, thank you so much for 100 plus. I know I keep saying it, but I'm very grateful. I remember when we were at fucking 3 subscribers. um I know that the growth isn't exponential and it's not as fast as I'd like it to be, but slowly but surely wins the race. Steady on, and we're just gonna keep growing. So, real quick, guys, something has happened in the past month and a big change in my life. Not too long ago, we'll start with a little story. About a month ago, I got an offer from an award-winning chef. He said, hey, come work for me. I'll make you into the fucking best chef you can imagine. You'll be worth more money. You won't just sit behind some line and cook boring-ass food, blah, 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 blah. Long story short, I evaluated the situation, and I made up my mind. I had left my old job. Now keep in mind, I had a job prior to this, and I left because these promises, they sounded so good, and I really thought that's what I wanted to do. I don't want to just keep cooking here for $12 an hour for the fucking rest of my life until I grow old and my fucking dick shrivels up. I don't want to do that. Um, I feel like I'm more than that. I'm not just some schmo who's gonna cook, and there's nothing wrong with the average guy who wants to work hard every day for the rest of his life and start a family. More power to you. That's not what I want to do. I wanna just be something. I wanna fucking get out there. I wanna really live, you know. And I know that sounds like a contradiction. Oh, Reach, you're playing video games. I like doing this. It's so amazing that you could reach millions of people just by doing something as silly as video games. And real quick, before I get some hate, I don't think it's silly. I respect it. It's a hard thing to do. I had to fucking re-record this commentary like 30 times. This is like my fucking 31st take. And keep in mind, it's not a cut commentary. I hate those fucking things. Alright, if you're really being genuine and from the heart and speaking to your subscribers, there's no reason you should have to chop it up. Okay? You just speak what's on your mind and speak from the heart. But anyways, I got all these promises from the chef. I left my job. I go over there. The first week, it was fantastic. I don't know if I remember. I think I talked about it on one of the videos. It was fantastic. Second week, fantastic. I was loving it, loving my life. Everything's going good. And probably about the third week, I started noticing some, really bad things. Real quick, guys, the culinary world can be very stressful, and it can bring out the worst in people. It can bring out the best in them. Tensions and emotions run high when in the kitchen. No doubt. No doubt. If you're in any type of kitchen, that's how it is. So I noticed the chef had a lot of crazy shit going on in his personal life. His ex-wife and his wife worked together with him in the same building, which there's nothing wrong with that, but just understand that, just imagine like what it was for his ex-wife who owns the company with him to have this little snobby girlfriend of his telling her how to run her business when she has no stake in the business whatsoever. Little things like this, and then he'd come in and be nasty one day and be happy the other, and then one day I think he was even on fucking drugs because he was just totally off his rocker. Like, when somebody is a certain way for weeks and weeks on end, you start to believe, once you get to know them, oh, well, this is how they are. They're miserable, or whatever the case may be. They're real happy, whatever. But this guy, it was like a roller coaster. He would just change up every other day. Like, you don't know what you were going to walk into when you walked in the kitchen. Like, he could be an asshole piece of shit screaming, or he could just be a nice guy, like, and real timid, afraid to ask you to clean something, or something like that. So, this started happening. It started affecting me personally, and I've learned from my past mistakes working in other places and having this kind of thing, exact kind of thing, happen, and it literally screwed me. It made me not want to cook. I saw it early this time. I caught it. I said, oh shit, this is happening. Like, fuck, I should have never came here. This dude is so out of all over the place. I don't give a fuck how many awards he has. He has no fucking clue what's going on. He's just so busy and so stressed and so this and so that, that nothing could be for sure, for certain, written in stone. Where you go in, you got your schedule, you got your fucking your routine and you get shit done and you put the food out and everyone's happy. Sometimes you have bad nights, but there was none of that. It was never a routine. Something was always changing with this guy. You know, I asked him for a schedule ahead of time because he knows I don't have a fucking car. And he would change the schedule the night before and call me. Sometimes forgetting to call me and then blame me for not checking in for my schedule. But here's the problem. I don't have to check in for my fucking schedule. That is your job. That was his job as a boss, guys, to make sure he had that schedule written out. That is what you do when you choose to become a boss and work over people and become their guide, basically. You write their schedule, you decide their pay, you decide what they do. It is your responsibility to fucking do all that. So that started happening, that kept happening, and I'm going to tell you guys two things that put me over the top, and this is what led up to the event and situation that I'm in currently that I'm going to tell you guys. The first thing was I kept coming in and I'd go in my fridge, my walk-in fridge, to get my ingredients, start my soups for the morning, make my sauces, get my eggs for breakfast, make some hollandaise, you know, shit like that, get all my ingredients together, mise en place. And I kept walking in about once a week and finding raw foods, especially raw chicken, stored on top of cooked food or raw produce. Now, you might be saying, oh, well, Reach, what's the big deal, you know? Well, what's the big deal? Why does it matter? You know, who the fuck cares? It's just raw chicken. I'll tell you why, guys, is because the number one thing in food and health regulation is that you never, ever, 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 ever store raw materials next to cooked materials or raw produce. The reason being, right, is that when chicken is raw, when eggs are raw, they contain certain diseases and bacteria. They could, okay? That's why you never work with raw chicken on a cutting board and then use that same cutting board to cut up parsley. You don't do that because it's called cross-contamination. And cross-contamination, let me educate you guys, is very serious. You could be a chef or just a cook, some silly little kid at Applebee's, and you put raw chicken on your hands, you touch raw chicken, and then picked up somebody's nachos or something and dropped the chips in the fryer, and then picked them up again with raw chicken on your hands and put it on the plate. That person, 9 out of 10 times, is going to start experiencing diarrhea, cold sweats, high fever if they don't die, and probably get put in the hospital if not die. So I kept walking in, award-winning chef, supposedly raw chicken on top of cooked foods in his fridge. Now, that's a big one. That's like the biggest problem I had. I don't care about all the other bullshit. That was like the biggest problem I had. Cause you want to think of it this way. What if I brought my family in to eat and they fucking, you know what I mean? What if I brought them in to eat and they ate that raw fucking chicken all over the nacho bullshit, you know what I mean? Or all over a fucking chicken marsala, this dumbass chef, the chicken juices dripped onto the broccoli, whatever the case may be. You think of it that way. You think of it that way when you become a good chef. Would I feed this to my family? Would I eat this myself? And the answer is, if there's something that you would never eat yourself or feed to your family or your loved ones, you don't fucking feed it to anyone else's. And you don't do that. That was the strike. The second thing is that the broken promises. This guy promised me all this shit. He said, oh, you'll be more than just a line cook and a line chef. Because, guys, I don't care what anyone says. There's no difference between a line cook and a chef. They're both cooks still. You're going to be cooking. The executive chef is the one who sits around and delegates and does all this and that. And I don't give a fuck who you are. Executive chefs are fucking lazy. But you earn that right to be lazy and get that job. You worked your way up the ranks and got shit on all those years to get to that spot. But I basically was told that I'm going to be upgrading, you know, moving on to the next step. And when I got there after, you know, the past 2 weeks, and it's been, 3 months since I've been working there, and nothing has changed. He basically did exactly what anyone else did. I did the same shit I was doing at the last place. I was not learning. He was so busy he didn't have time to teach me, like he said. And that's fine. If he would have just said that, oh, well, I'm too busy, I can't teach you anything. No, he told me told my old mentor to fuck off. That's what he told me to tell him. and stick with him that I'll learn more. Long story short, blew smoke up my ass. Empty promises. He never came through with what he said he was going to come through with. Fucking last week I was still just, I got hired as a chef thinking I'm going to get to make nice sauces and experiment and order what I want here and there, like, oh, instead of getting yellow rice, let's order some jasmine rice this week and we'll do a nice lemon beurre blanc with a nice salmon or something, whatever. That never happened, guys. Long story short, I left. I've been out of work for about a week and a half, and what I wanted to say was I'm taking this next month and I'm going to grind and buckle down on YouTube. I got my album out. That's done. We're going to focus on YouTube. We're going to fucking get this fucking channel going. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you could like, subscribe, share the video with your friends, that would be greatly appreciated. But basically just wanted to let you guys know what was going on. And this has been Reach for the Stars, signing out. Have a beautiful day.